Gerry Strauss here with IndyGurlz Wrestling, and we are here with one of the brand newcomers to IndyGurlz, Nikki Adams. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I'm super excited to be here.
Very cool. Now, let's learn a little bit more about you. Why don't you take us to the very beginning, way back. When did you first decide that, yes, I want to be a professional wrestler?
Professional wrestling has always been something I love. I shared that with my dad. It was a bond we had. And I just remember always loving wrestling. It was always something that we watched together. I mean, he had his favorite wrestlers, and I kind of started to like them too. Like, he liked Bret Hart, so I liked Bret Hart. And it's still a strong bond that I have with my father. By the time I turned 18, I figured I really wanted to give this a shot. I could do this. I'm very capable, and I knew that if I tried, and worked on it, I could be successful at it. But, I had strict parents, so what I did was I made sure I graduated school. I went to school for a trade. I was able to move out, have a job, support myself, and then I looked into schools and I found a good place to train, and I began training. And that's pretty much it from there. I've trained, and I've really moved up the ladder and done well for myself.
Very cool. And now let's talk a little bit more about your training. What was that like? Tell us about your experience learning the ropes.
I remember my first day, and I was so excited to be there. I mean, I was one of the only girls. There was another girl that just started a couple days before me. She was really shy. Unfortunately, she just decided it wasn't for her, so I ended up being the only girl for a while. But, most of the guys, I was surprised. They were pretty welcoming to me, and they supported me. I was very shy at first, but they worked with me, and, I just became a sponge. I kept absorbing everything, and I actually did really well. I did better probably than they would have ever expected me, because I know, it's not an easy thing to do. You either, decide you have the passion for it, you're going to continue, or you try it and, it just didn't work out.
Okay. And you mentioned Bret Hitman Hart, of course, legend in professional wrestling, is one of your influences. You see the leather jacket. Not sure if that's a direct correlation from... Okay.
I like leather.
Okay. Who are your influences? Who, as far as what you do in the ring, who do you try to emulate and try to learn from the most, as far as, names that we would know from the past?
Honestly, I don't really have one answer for that, honestly. I have a couple. I think every time you see me, it's not like you could say, oh, she picked that up from here or there. I mean, I do a lot of different things all the time. I'm always looking to evolve and change my style. But I do love Bret. Bret is definitely one of my favorites, but I don't really wrestle like him. He's technical. I'm not. But one of my favorite wrestlers also is Ric Flair. I mean, flawless. If you want to say that, I chop. Chops are my life. So Ric Flair.
Okay. You just got here to IndyGurlz. As a matter of fact, as we speak, you had your first match tonight. Big things predicted for you in the future, but what do you see your place in as far as IndyGurlz? What do you bring to the table that maybe other competitors may not have, that might give you an advantage in the ring against some of them?
Well, I'm different. I mean, you look at me and I'm not like someone you would typically see. I mean, even if you saw me outside in the street, I always look different. I'm not a typical standard person, and I just think that I'm okay with that. I like being different, and I constantly like learning as much as I can and evolving my style. I want to know as much as I can, and I want to perfect everything, because all I care about is perfecting the craft, because it's not about being necessarily better than anyone. I think everyone that's in wrestling has the passion and they work very hard. It's just being able to compete with the greats and being able to hold your own and earn their respect and be able to last.
There's a lot of people looking at you, and you're earning their respect, I'm sure, and you will be match after match after match. Let's talk about our final segment of these interviews. Look at that camera. somebody even newer than you to IndyGurlz is coming in, has no idea what you're all about in the ring, you're going to tell them, you're going to warn them right now what they should expect when they get in the ring with you and the bell sounds. Go for it.
Oh, snap. Okay. Just so you know, you're new here. I'm pretty new too. I want to introduce myself. I'm Nikki Adams. I always look forward to the opportunity to work with anybody, new, people that have more experience. I cherish every moment. I look to always learn and get better. Again, as I mentioned before, I'm constantly evolving and changing my style. So, I mean, just because people may know and think they're like aware of what I'm going to be doing, they don't. I'm kind of like a season. I change, and then I have a whole new variety of stuff that I bring to the table. So just always stay on your guard, because you never know what you're going to get when it comes to Nikki Adams.
Unorthodox, on the rise, Nikki Adams, thank you for joining us. For IndyGurlz, I'm Gerry Strauss. We will see you next time.